Mm. The tea is hot today. Welcome back. If you are just joining me, my name is Tony and I am the trauma doula. Welcome to my channel. Stick around and here's some channeled Reiki messages. Whenever you are ready, we always begin right here with a hand on the heart, maybe two hands on the heart, or a hand on the belly. We start by noticing our breath in this moment. And as always, take this moment to give Reiki permission to go exactly where it's needed at this point in time for your highest good and the highest good of all involved. Once you have felt that permission to receive the Reiki, the energy, and the messages, stay here and watch this video. If you have not felt that energy, or you feel like you can't receive, or you've placed your hand on your heart and hand on your belly and you kind of hear no, or you have a hard time accepting, then maybe this isn't the message for you and this isn't the time for you to be here in this moment. And that's okay too. So today, the message that's really coming in very strongly, it's two parts. So we'll start with passion. So a lot of people, and this is something that I've started to notice, a lot of people have gotten stuck on this idea of needing to find their passion, needing to find their passion so that they can do this work and be on fire and feel fulfilled and all of these things. And it's intrinsically linked with this idea that we have of purpose, this idea that we have of finding our place in the world. And while all these things are beautiful sentiments, oftentimes this idea of finding our passion, finding out what we're passionate about, leads us away from the things. Really, it's kind of, what do I call that? A disservice to all of those who could be doing really amazing things in the world. So I always say that passion is a forest fire. It's a wildfire, right? Passion is wonderful for a summer, sometimes, in some circumstances. But as a lot of us know at this point in time, wildfire season, not so good. Burning down houses and property and historical property and forest. Entire forest, boom, gone, right? Because of wildfires, i.e., passion. And I use this analogy because when we're talking about these things, oftentimes we get lost in this idea of being set on fire by this thing. But passion eventually is going to burn you out. You can't have passion forever. But something you can have, something that you can build, and something that I often tell people to look at instead when they're looking for passion in their work, is to find a slow burning bonfire. Find a slow burning fireplace, something that's contained. A bonfire, you can feed and you can give and you can nurture over time. A bonfire has room for other people who also want to build and nurture that thing with you over time. And it grows. But a bonfire You can let it get smaller for a while, and then you can build it up again. You can take your foot off the pedal and decide that maybe you want to check out some other people's bonfires because those look cool, and you already have all these people who are helping you sustain your own bonfire, right? So this is a two-part message really about passion, and that's it shouldn't be so hot that it is literally burning down everything in its wake, because that's not really helpful, right? You will burn too if you're caught in a wildfire, and I think we know that by now. Um, but where am I taking this long metaphor about passion? You will find I love comparisons and symbols, but stick with it. Bonfires are nice, especially those beach bonfires where you get to see the sunset and sit on the beach around a fire and build it with other people and your community, right? Your community is supportive of those bonfires. And when I think about wildfires, sometimes they are good. They come in, they tear a bunch of stuff down so a bunch of other stuff can get built up. Passion is great for set small periods of time, and then it's just too much. The forest needs to rebuild, it needs to regrow, right? We did controlled burns way back in the day, and we're starting to come back to that. We did controlled burns with those passions because we knew that some was good for the land and the environment, but that constant repeated passion cycle, it sets you up for burnout. So if you're feeling burnt out, if you are trying to find your passion, if you are trying to figure out your purpose in the world, recognize, one, you're not alone. You're never alone. Everyone's dealing with this right now because the idea of having a passion is popular because people want to feel like they are needed and necessary and of use in the world. But that leads me to something else, and that's, as you are right now, whether or not you have this passion thing figured out, whether or not your job is something you like or love or are passionate about, you are needed. You are necessary. No one is like you. No one can do what you do. No one is who you are, and you are here for a purpose and a reason, whether or not it is related to what you do for money. And so taking a little bit of time to divest your identity, yeah, from what you do from work. Because capitalism and identity, yes, I feel like the powers that be would love for us all to have our identity wrapped in some capitalistic ideal of I'm a vet and I'm amazing and I make money and I help people, right? And if that could be our whole identity, then we wouldn't do all these other amazing things that people often do when there aren't dollars tied to something, right? Some amazing people haven't started environmental work, not because they got paid, but because they love the earth. Some amazing people are trying to stop pipelines from getting built on sacred land, not because of dollars that they make, but because they love the earth, right? And they respect natives and native traditions and native land. So when we're talking about passion, I feel like this is a highly, highly capitalistic idea that pulls away our core and our true self. It pulls that away from what we could really be doing in the world, because we believe our passion, our purpose, and our identity is tied to what we do for dollars. And this isn't always true. So that's message part one. Um, Message part two that's kind of coming in and taking up a little bit of space is this idea that just because something is comfortable doesn't mean it's easy. Ooh, what does that mean? What does that mean? Right? Just because something is comfortable, I'm gonna have to drink a little tea for this. Just because it's comfortable, don't mean it's easy. And just because it's easy doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna be comfortable. See, at this point in time, people are expanding. Energy is expanding. Your awareness is expanding. Think of all the things in the world that we know right now that are happening because of platforms like TikTok, where people are getting together and like sharing knowledge and ideas. Think about that. We know now more than we've ever known before. We are more connected than we've ever been before. And oftentimes, being connected to people who you would never know, meet, cross perspectives with, that might not always be comfortable. But it is easy right now. It's very easy to be uncomfortable in other people's energy and space, taking on different perspectives and ideas and thoughts, and recognizing that the world is bigger and different than we ever believed it to be. And then the other part of this message has to do with our work and our relationships in the world. Oftentimes, we believe that just because this job is comfortable, then we're in a good place and everything's fine and we can just ride this out. But when something inside of you is like, I can't be in this job and I know I'm not supposed to and I know I need to leave, or I know I need to find something better, or I know that I should be working at that random nonprofit and not this corporate place, but like I'm scared to take these leaps, or I know I want to go do this homestead. But I'm comfortable, and that's not easy. We often get into this place of accepting comfort in exchange for hard work that would lead us to fulfillment. The plant agrees. They agree with me sometimes. Right? So in exchange for comfort, we actually release what would be for our highest and truest good. And that's not easy, right? Because you're uncomfortable in these jobs, in these friendships. I'm hearing that's a really big one sometimes. Comfortable in these friend groups. But it's not easy pretending to be something you're not. It's not easy choosing the thing you know would be best for you. Choose your not easy, because one way or the other, right, there's discomfort. One way or the other, you lose a part of yourself. But when you stay in things that don't serve you anymore, you lose the part of yourself that you could be. You see, when you move into something that serves you, you just lose the stuff, the part of your identity that was no longer you anyway. It wasn't you to begin with. Maybe that was just a mask you put on to get by in the world. I understand that. And yet, there are times, there are cross sections and intersections in your life, you've probably been through at least one, where you look back and recognize you wouldn't have wanted it any other way. And you are happy that you made those decisions now. And there were probably times when you were at those same cross sections and intersections when you didn't make the choice for your highest good. And you recognized at some point that, oh shit, I should have made that other choice. Should have followed me, right? We're all human. We're all learning. I think that's all the message I got for you today. So in the description box below, if you would like to work with me and have your own channeled Reiki session, it's going to be linked in the description box below, like I said. And you can also sign up for the newsletter that I'll be sending out once or twice a month. I try not to bombard y'all because, like, who got time to read 4 newsletters a month? I don't, you don't, no, once or twice a month of just messages. So anyway, have a wonderful day, wonderful week, wonderful month, and I'll see you next time. Bye.